Welcome to the implementation overview for the Key Stage 2 Year 3 English Grammar, Punctuation and Spelling Intervention. How we help you set up the evaluation. The first thing we ask you to do is identify a group of target learners in Year 3. You then complete the pre-assessment test with all the learners. The What Work Teachers platform will then randomly allocate these into the intervention and the comparison group. The intervention students will receive this over the duration of the trial, and the comparison group will continue as normal. And then both groups complete the post-assessment tests at the end of the evaluation. This is the same as the pre. If the intervention shows promise, you then open this up to the comparison group students. So let's look at this from an implementation planning point of view by a step-by-step approach. So step 1. Identify a group of learners to participate in the evaluation from the same year group or class. Step 2, you need to order the year Key Stage 2 English Grammar, Punctuation and Spelling Year 3 10-minute test workbooks for the start of the pilot. These cost about £2.50 each per pupil. Step 3, complete the pre-assessment test with all learners. Record the marks in the Excel tracker and then upload the pre-test data into the trial wizard. So moving on to the implementation. Using the trial wizard on the What Work Teachers platform, it will randomly assign learners to the intervention and comparison group. Step 5. For the intervention group of students, they receive a daily targeted small group intervention to work through the 10-minute activities in the CGP book. The comparison group will continue with business as usual for the duration of the trial. And step 6. Complete the post-assessment test, which is the same as the pre, to both the intervention and comparison group. Record the marks in your Excel tracker and then input these into the post-test on the trial wizard. You then complete the process evaluation and then click Analyze. It will generate an impact report to show you how the intervention has worked in your school. So the intervention. It's a targeted grammar, punctuation and spelling intervention that focuses on Year 3 learners. It's delivered by a teaching assistant in small groups, and each session will approximately take 10 to 15 minutes. The grammar, punctuation and spelling intervention uses this book from CGP, and it's been adapted from a school who's implemented this from a daily intervention time to focus on spelling, punctuation and grammar. Okay, and this evaluation has been set up as a targeted small group intervention to help schools test if this approach shows promise. So we've put a screenshot of the book because there is a few versions that you can get so that you know which one to use in the evaluation. So, the small group target intervention. The CGP workbook is designed to help your pupils master Year 3 spelling, punctuation and grammar. It's packed full with bite-sized bursts of practice at the perfect level for Year 3 pupils, and there's a fun puzzle at the end of each section. In each workbook, the full answers to every question included with a progress chart to help track progress. The workbook includes 20 10-minute activities for grammar, punctuation, spelling and mixed practice, and this should help reduce the planning time for teaching assistants when delivering this targeted intervention. In the resource folder, you will find the tracking spreadsheet. And then finally, moving on to key considerations. Logistical issues need to be considered before using a targeted strategy as an intervention. So is there a suitable time in the day for the delivery? Is there a suitable location? Make sure you order the workbooks in advance of starting the pilot. And will you link this to any rewards for the efforts? So logistical barriers are common in any intervention delivered in schools, so it's just important to consider these prior to starting. The assessment, the pre-assessment, it's in the resource folder and it's out of 16 marks. Please record the score for each learner in the Excel tracker and then input this into the What Work Teachers platform. At the end of the trial, the same assessment is used to retest and measure the impact of the intervention. Because the same assessment is used, it should not bias because both the control and intervention have access to this. And then just make sure you please record the score for each learner in your tracker and then input this again into the What Work Teachers platform. If you can complete the assessment under test conditions, it can be delivered by a teacher or teaching assistant. Make sure you print the assessment task. And then if you can just make sure you record these scores. So that's the end of your implementation guidance. The next thing to do is to download your research protocol and resource folder before entering the trial wizard.